Hi dear students, how are you? Today I am going to deliver my lecture on most important multiple choice questions based on analysis of rates. So let us start the lecture. First, the purpose of rate analysis is to determine the current rate of an atom or to market value of an atom, to know the quantities of materials required or to know the types of labor required. The rate analysis is to determine the market value of an atom. The market value is the most appropriate answer. Which of the following factors affect the task work of a labor? Nature of work, weather condition, mode of payment of work, all of the above, all of the above. What is task work? It is the daily output and it depends upon A, B, C. So option D is the correct answer. Task work per day means 8 hours per day. The option B is correct because we also work for 8 hours. The rate of an atom of work depend upon the specification of work, specification of material, proportion of mortar, all of the above. All of the above is the correct answer. It is very simple and we have to use our common sense also. When water is added to the dry mix of concrete, its volume shrinks by 25%, 30%, 15% or 52%. So option D is the correct one. Volume of one bag 50 kg of cement is 0.035 cubic meter. That is the correct answer. To convert the wet mortar into dry, dash percentage of mortar is taken as extra in brick masonry work. 35% extra. So 35 option A is the correct answer. Standard size of brick is 20 centimeter by 10 centimeter by 10 centimeter or 19 centimeter by 9 centimeter by 9 centimeter or 19 by 19 by 9 centimeter or 20 by 20 by 10 centimeter. It is 19 by 19 by 9 centimeter. So option C is the most appropriate answer. Then number of bricks required per 10 meter cube of brick masonry. So there is very simple calculation. Volume of brick, how it is calculated? With mortar it is 0.20 by 10 by 10 means 0.2 multiplied by 0.1 multiplied by 0.1, that is 0.002 meter cube. So 10 meter cube divided by 0.002 meter cube, that are the 5000 numbers. So option D is the correct answer. It is very simple calculation. One must know these techniques. Which of the following cost is not included in the rate analysis of an atom? Petrol, oil, lubricant cost, contractor profit, land cost or overhead cost. The land cost is not included into the rate analysis atom of work. Usually contractor profit is taken as 10%. Water charges are usually taken as dash percent of the rate analysis of work. Water charges are taken as a 1.5%. Which factor is not typically considered in the rate analysis? Cost of material, labor wages, overhead expenses or market demand. The market demand is not considered, not typically considered in the rate analysis. What is the primary purpose of conducting a rate analysis? To improve the structural design, to determine the feasibility of the project, to calculate the total cost and ensure the budget control, and to enhance the aesthetical. The option C is the most appropriate answer. Which of the following cost is usually included in the rate analysis? Marketing cost, transportation cost, legal fees or medical expenses. All these three are not considered. 1, 2, 3. So correct is the transportation cost, option B. Rate analysis involves the calculation of material cost, labor cost, both material and labor cost or none of above, both material and labor cost. What is the typical unit of measurement for cement in rate analysis? The cement is measured in bags. Which document is often prepared using the results of rate analysis? Site layout plan, construction schedule, bill of quantities or environmental impact assessment. BOQ, bill of quantities is prepared after rate analysis. In the rate analysis, labor cost is determined based on number of hours worked, number of workers employed, productivity rate of workers, and the all of above. All of above is considered for labor cost. What does the term contingency mean in the rate analysis? It is very important. Contingency म्हणजे काय? An amount set aside for unexpected expenses. That is very correct answer. We use the vehicle for going to visit the site or to inspect the site. Such a cost is the amount set aside for unexpected expenses. But nowadays there are various government resolutions on using of these contingencies. We have to read that all government resolutions and do the work accordingly for contingencies. To feel the rate of an atom in contract, contractor need to perform leveling, planning, rate analysis or trial activity. Rate analysis. The quantity of stone required for 10 meter cube of rubble stone masonry will be 12.5 meter cube. How it is calculated? 10 meter cube considering 25% of wastage, it is 12.5. Rate analysis is the process of deriving the rate of unit atom from the cost of its material cost, equipment cost, labor cost, all of the above. All of the above is the correct answer. Calculate the number of bricks required for 20 meter cube. We already calculate for 10 meter cube 5,000. So double that, that is 20,000 for 20 meter cube. The options are 5,000. We calculate it as a 5,000, so it is 10,000. How it is calculated? 1 meter cube. Up we are already calculated 500 bricks. So for 20, 500 multiplied by 4, that is option B. Option B is the correct answer for 20 cubic meter. Which factor is not typically considered in the rate analysis? Rate analysis, advertising cost is not considered. All material cost, labor cost, site conditions are considered. In rate analysis, what does the term overhead refer to? Overhead refer to indirect cost of administration and supervision. Why the wastage is considered in the rate analysis? To account the material loss during the construction. It is necessary. Which of the following can affect the rate analysis of a project? Site condition, market fluctuations, labor availability, all of the above affects the rate analysis. What is the purpose of including depreciation in the rate analysis? To account the wear and tear of equipment or a structure. Then the capacity of doing work by skilled labor in the form of quantity of work per day is known as a task work. It is very important question. It is asked in all type of examinations. So it is enough for this lecture, and thank you for listening my lecture till the end, and have a great day. Bye.